Hello and welcome back to the NBL Season 3 11s. We have some all-star players and some all-star teams lined up here today for you guys. Up first we have Monarch DFC up against Yathaghan FC. Monarch FC are still building their identity. They like to focus on control and passing. So we're definitely going to see if they can build up their identity this time. Yathaghan FC, of course, are very hardworking and resilient. They are strong on second balls. Both teams are very much primed for success. We're going to see some plays, we're going to see some counter plays, we're going to see a lot of attacks and defensive strategies. Most of all, we're going to see a lot of fun here tonight. Some fantastic football. So do stick around for that. We begin with the ceremony. Both teams are wishing each other luck. Both teams are amped up, primed. It is quite late, but the hour is early, and both teams have some plenty of chances to score and make their mark on this game. The Monarch DFC squad stars Ilhan Hussein, Mani Bharat, Anirudh Bhatt, Leo, Vaiba Mina, Hakim, Sonu C, Praveen Pegu, Atul Dani, Smith Hose, and Arjun Nambia. They could be having a 4-5-1 formation. Let us see how that fares against Yathaghan FC's 4-5-1 formation as well. On the squad is Rahis, Sudanshu, Abhiram, Nihant S, Chirag, Gurdain, Suhas, Pradyumna, and Swapnil. Both teams do have some fantastic players lined up here today for this season. We're definitely looking to see which of them are able to definitely make their mark over here tonight. A short huddle for both teams, wishing each other luck, planning out their strategies, building up their confidence, making sure that every single player counts for something in this game here tonight. We're looking forward to seeing some fantastic football here tonight, so do stay tuned. It is definitely one that you don't want to miss. Seconds tick by. Anticipation builds. Here we arrive with the kickoff. It will be Yathaghan FC starting off with some small passes here and there. Yathaghan FC with possession of the ball to start off with. Meaning maintaining quite strongly. Monarch FC awarded with a kick. Monarch once again with the ball. Goal kick. Up and away. And out of bounds. Throw in for Monarch FC. Yathaghan FC slowly building up. Attempted a strike. They have some momentum here. What can they make of it? Just passes by them. Strong pass, but a little too strong. Monarch FC passing it back and forth. Looking to advance. Picked up by Yathaghan FC. Small blunder. Yathaghan FC passing it back. Making some defensive plays here. Looking to establish himself strongly. Over to the goalkeeper. Now, for those of you who are joining us here for the very first time, both teams have quite the history. Monarch FC, of course, they're still building their identity. They're focusing on their control and their passing. We'll see what makes of it in this first game they're here to play. As we Yathaghan FC, they're very hard-working and resilient. Strong on the second ball. Both teams definitely have a chip on their shoulders and they're looking to prove themselves here tonight. Only time will tell which one is the team to score. A very nice kick over there. Quite beautiful, quite skillful. Almost martial arts-like in its precision. Over to Yathaghan FC. Yathaghan FC advancing forward. They have the possession with a sweep. A beautiful sweep from the defense. They lost it. Well defended by Monarch FC. You can see attempt a kung fu kick by one of the defenders of Monarch FC. This is a game of football, of course, but one may incorporate some other styles from one's other life into this game. As long as it works and as long as you can pull it off. Yathaghan FC into the arms of the goalkeeper with a strike. Well saved by Monarch FC. Both teams with a strong start. You're seeing a lot of aggression, you're seeing a lot of defense as well. Whistle is blown. Call has been made. Yathaghan FC awarded the ball. Looking to advance. Stolen from them by Monarch FC. Ever so briefly. Throw in. Yathaghan FC with their possession. Picked up by Monarch FC. Monarch FC looking to advance. Lost again. They had it and then they lost it. Goal kick. Monarch FC trying to fend off the attackers and the strikers. To prevent a rout and of course to prevent a goal. Very important to maintain your composure even in the face of peril. Over to Yathaghan FC. Yathaghan FC with possession yet again. Some passes here and there. Very much touch and go. You can see the strategy trying to build. Maintaining their positions, maintaining some pressure. You see what both teams are attempting to do. Opening up the field, opening up the plays. Making sure they can capitalize on opportunities. Ball goes up in the air. It's anyone's ball. There's a tussle for it. It goes wide. Yathaghan FC trying to pick it up. Nicely deflected by Monarch FC. This case is not exactly what they wanted. Playing it slow, playing it cool. It's a perfectly valid strategy. You want to suss out your opponents. Make sure that you have the advantage at hand. Here's an opportunity. Yathaghan FC goes up in the air and captured by the goalkeeper right in the nick of time. That was a perfect save. It could have been a very deadly situation for them. Monarch FC definitely on the top of the game when it comes to defense. Over to Yathaghan FC with possession. Holding firm. Yathaghan FC advancing. Up in the air. Solid kick. Nice header. See some back and forth over here in midfield. Players down. The whistle isn't blown, of course, that means nothing too long. Starting off strong with some firm footing. Some good plays on both sides. Monarch FC with an attack. Fended off by Yathaghan FC. Pink, of course, is the color of passion. Yathaghan FC displays it quite prominently on their jerseys. Displaying a lot of that passion here out of the field. Monarch FC, of course, have a great reputation. Slowly building up their core. Finding their footing. What matters, of course, is which team is hungrier to get that goal into the post, and whether they have the skill, the ability, and the strategy to make it shoot in. Nice header. Love to see it. Good counter plays by Monarch FC, although it was lost. Sending it back to the goalkeeper. Smart move. Very few opportunities there. Every move had to count. No space for error. Throw in. Picked up by the goalkeeper. Up and away. Charging forward. Yathaghan FC with some momentum, trying to find their footing, trying to find a gap. All of a sudden, the tides shift. Monarch FC on the offensive. Blink and you miss it, and everything can change. There will be a corner kick for Monarch FC. Swerved back. Picked up by Yathaghan FC in the defensive zone. Nice dribbling. Goes up in the air. Will be out. Yes, it will. Yathaghan FC with a swerve. Trying to make a pass here. I do believe that was offside. Monarch FC. See what Monarch FC's strategy seems to be, which is to keep the field as wide open as possible, look for advantages in tight spaces, find them, and execute. Monarch FC, of course, is still building their identity. They're a rough and tumble team, but they can focus a lot on their control and passing maneuvers, and you can see that at play over here. A beautiful attempt at a kick right there. Couldn't quite execute it, but it was a noble attempt. Would have been something to see that land, in fact. Had it been pulled off, it would have been an amazing execution of a goal. Alas, it was not to be. Goal kick. Throw in. Yathaghan FC up for the throw in. Monarch FC capturing the ball. Tackled by Yathaghan FC. Monarch FC with the possession. Looking for a strong pass. Couldn't quite find it. The defense is way too strong over there. as we arrive at the halfway point of the first half. Things are very much at a standstill between both teams, even as Yathaghan FC and Monarch FC have made some aggressive and impressive attacks. It's not quite enough to go for the goal. You have to actually get it in. That's about exactly what both teams are attempting to do. Looking for a call from the ref. Throw-in. It's given to Yathaghan FC due to how that was executed. Up in the air. Looking to find their footing. Backward header. Not what they were hoping for. Yathaghan FC. Still early and still fresh. Both teams are still trying to find a strategy. Looking for that opening. They have a pre-strategy, of course. This could be it. If not for the timely intervention of the goalkeeper, Monarch FC. Up in the air. Sending it forward. Two forward in this case. Picked up. Here's an opportunity. A very close one. A very deadly mistake over there. And it was denied. Oh, what a heartbreak. So close. They had a golden opportunity. A brief moment of hesitation by the goalkeeper allowed Yathaghan FC to pick up the ball. And just in a trace of a second, it was lost. Nevertheless, that attempt was definitely going to have Monarch FC sweating. It's too close for comfort. Let's see if Monarch FC can have a strong counter-attack for that. It's important to not lose momentum at this stage of the game. Surging forward. Definitely picked up by the goalkeeper. Had to do it. Monarch FC picking up the ball with the tackle. Strong tackle again. Good pass. Lost some momentum. Regaining it. Looking to sweep. Looking for a gap. Picked up by Yathaghan FC. Scrambled for the ball. You can see Monarch FC's strategy after that near close miss. They're going on the aggressive, going on the offense without a moment's hesitation. Good strategy. If the morale was already in Yathaghan FC's hands with that close opportunity, Monarch FC has stolen it away with an aggressive offensive play. The night is still very much young. Might be late, but the night is young for both teams. Wherever you are watching, cheer your favorite players on, cheer your team on. Do make sure to stay tuned. This game is just ramping up. Yellow card was awarded to a player from Monarch FC, Smith Jose. Cards are often awarded in heat of the moment moves by players. Sometimes it pays to be aggressive. You have to be smart. Avoid these yellow cards. Monarch FC with a throw-in. Looking for an opportunity. It was wide open, but the defense was right there. Here they go again, with some momentum. Trying to find an opening. They may have found it. If they can just get past the defense. Just bounces off the post. Very close. And it goes past the goal. The opportunity was lost. Players here on the stands cheering on their favorite teams. Monarch FC with a strong offensive. And they have another opportunity here with a corner kick. They can find the opening. All they have to do is just shoot straight. Or even head it in. That could be an opportunity. Headed off by Yathaghan FC. Good save by the defense. Picked up by Yathaghan FC. Looking to advance. The wind shifts yet again. We thought Yathaghan FC was on the defensive. They came back with full strength. The Monarch TF is finding another offensive here. Looking to attack. Can they advance into the goal? It goes right past the goal. Very deceptively. It looked like it was almost going to be a goal. But the angle just wasn't there. It was a very tight enclosure. Can't fault the player for that. The defense was just around him in every direction. Split second moment. And he had to shoot. He had to go for it. No chance and no choice. There will be many more chances, of course, just like that one. As seconds tick by and the end of the first half comes to a draw. First half was quite strong on both sides. Both teams are quite equal. You would not know which team has the better of the other, judging by these plays. The speed, the stamina, the energy, the momentum. Both teams are looking to capture for themselves and score a much desired goal. Monarch FC with possession, making some plays and some passes. Yathaghan FC with a pickup. Throw in. Sending it back to the goalkeeper. Oh, that was dangerous, very deadly right there. Small mistakes like that can pile up over time. Too much power on a serve to the goalkeeper. Next time it could very well be a goal or even an own goal. TFC looking to advance. Advance. Past the corridor. Will be a throw in. The grass is green on the pitch, but none of these players are green. They're playing like true professionals. You can see them advance. Look at them go. Yathaghan FC. Beautiful save by Monarch FC. That'll be a corner kick. Golden opportunity for them to make some advances. Yathaghan FC have been denied many opportunities in this first half. This could be the big break they're looking for. Could also be their last big break because the seconds are just ticking by. First half is going to be an end. There will be some extra time. Let's see how this corner lands. Anticipation is thick in the air. Working out the right angle, working out exactly who you're going to pass it to, who to serve, where to land it, where to make that strike. Calculating exactly how much power is going to go into that kick. Red card, first of this game, has been awarded. Smith Jose, Monarch FC. Very unfortunate for him. Yellow card is one, but his red card is quite bad. Heat of the moment, these things can happen. Goes up in the air and above the goalpost. Bit of a disappointment for Monarch FC in this regard. Not a goal just yet, and a red card awarded to a player. Yathaghan FC have made some advances. They're quite aggressive. Haven't found an opportunity yet. Game is still early, only the first half. But of course, the first half is drawing slowly to a close. With that, both teams will eventually regroup, calculate and reevaluate their plays, make some changes for the second half. Up in the air with some headers. Both teams are holding quite steady when it comes to this game. It has been an interesting match, I would say. You've seen some hot and cold plays. You've seen some pushes and pulls, seesawing, tension. Yet again here, you can see Yathaghan FC advance, full steam ahead. The defense is quite strong over there. There's no player to pass it off to. Looking for some teamwork and camaraderie. Unable to just get it over there. It's not enough for one player to advance unless he has all the speed and momentum. You have to have a strong pass or line up to the goal. Monarch FC looking to make some counter-attacks here. They've been on the defense for the last few minutes. Can they find their footing over here? The ball races towards the end. Whistle blows. Will be a kick. Yathaghan FC will be the one taking it. In the last few seconds, can they pull out something, Yathaghan FC? They're certainly trying to. They have that ambition and they have that enthusiasm on their side. Will that be a corner? Not this time. Goal kick. Teeing up for it. Maybe a bit of psychological momentum here. Trying to see where it's going to land. Calculating it. Offside. No, that's the whistle. That'll be the end of the first half. No real extra time over here. It was a short, thrilling, sweet first half. You had some lot of plays over here by Monarch FC and Yathaghan FC. The score still stands at the halftime. Yet Yathaghan FC 0, Monarch FC also 0. Unchanged from the beginning of the game. As you go over the stats, Yathaghan FC with a dominant 3 shots on target and 2 shots off target. Monarch FC with just 2 shots off target as well. Quite equalized over here. Monarch FC with 1 save because Yathaghan FC were just hammering them at the very end of this first half. Monarch FC with 2 cards awarded to Smith Jose. Smith Jose earned a red card, which is very unfortunate for him and especially for Monarch FC who are hoping to rely on him. It's something you have to avoid with these high pressure games and high stake games. We do look forward to seeing you ahead with the second half of this game, so do stay tuned and don't forget to like, share, comment, and subscribe. There is going to be an exhilarating second half of this game. It might have been slow goings in the first half. Hopefully, the action picks up with the second half. Do stay tuned. A big thank you to our sponsors Calvary Hospital, Metal Limits Don't Exist, www.prakrita.co.in, Vortex Media Management, Wisecraft, Capella Builders, Itsuki, and lastly, Player Nation. Big thank you to all of our sponsors. Do stay tuned for the second half. It is one not to miss. We'll see you right after this short break. And we're back with the second half of the game between Monarch FC and Yathaghan FC. Halftime score stood at 0-0 for both teams. Looking forward to seeing what both teams have to bring with the second half. Can they ramp up the action? Can either team score a goal? Only time will tell. They're going to keep us in suspense, and absolutely, we're going to see some fantastic football at play here tonight. Do stay tuned. It's interesting to see which both teams will come out with the different strategies this time. Monarch FC was definitely on the defense last time. Yathaghan FC with the offense at the last few seconds and last few minutes of the first half. Will Yathaghan FC be able to continue their momentum? Will Monarch FC finally be able to establish themselves with a goal in this very first game of theirs? Looking forward to seeing what they have to bring to the table and what kind of tricks they'll pull out of their sleeves. Over to Yathaghan FC with possession, passing it forward. Strong pass. Trying to build some momentum. Sending it back. Picked up by Monarch FC. Monarch FC looking to score a goal as early as possible. That would be their strategy. Yathaghan FC turning the tables with some momentum. Surging forward. This player looks unstoppable until he wasn't. Both teams, of course, have taken some time to regroup after the short interval between the first half and the second half. Some strategies may have changed over time after that huddle. This will be a corner for Yathaghan FC. Last few corners in the first half did not go their way. They came some close time. Closely, they had some attempts with the goal. They had a strong score when it came to attempted goals. They still need a beautiful point on the scoreboard. Just surges past the goal. Another attempt. Monarch FC looking to advance. Pick up Yathaghan FC. Yathaghan FC with possession. Tripped over by the defense. Well done by them. Will be offside. Will be a free kick. Of the Yathaghan FC with a crucial moment for them. Window of opportunity. They had quite the frustrating first half. All the attempts at the goal were fended off by Monarch FC, but this could be their chance. Early in the game, second half. And it surges into the goal. Beautiful. That is almost certainly a goal. Without question. It has finally been coming, a long time coming, and they've finally broken through Yathaghan FC. with a smashing goal in the second half. 3 minutes in. You love to see it. That was the opportunity they were looking for the entire time, and they finally got it. It is a goal! Goal scorer for Yathaghan FC, Suhas, with a beautiful goal. It was timed exactly perfectly with a right angle, everything. The stars perfectly aligned for that goal, but it had to be tucked in with finesse with Suhas. Monarch FC with possession. Can they make a counter-attack? It's very important that they not lose any of the momentum. They have to equalize as soon as possible. Very crucial for them. As for Yathaghan FC, if they can get more goals on that scoreboard, that would be their strategy. Opportunities are slim, of course. Both teams are in peak performance early in this game. Early in the season, in fact. Yathaghan FC with a definitive advantage of that one goal that they were searching for throughout the first half. They were denied all throughout. The second half, clearly something has changed. You can see a new momentum and a new energy in them. Especially after that beautiful goal by Suhas. Whistle blows. Ref makes a good call. Yathaghan FC with one goal. Monarch FC with nil thus far. There's an opportunity here, though, to equalize. Will they be able to capitalize? They have to do it as quickly as possible. Because right now, Yathaghan FC have the confidence, they have the momentum to propel them into victory in this game. If I were Monarch FC, I would say one goal is not just enough. It's not enough to just equalize, have a tiebreaker. You have to have two goals, in fact. Come out strong with a victory over Yathaghan FC. Yathaghan FC deny Monarch FC any chances at a goal. We've been in this situation before, but it was reversed. Last time it was Yathaghan FC who had the opportunity. This time it is Monarch FC. Lining up for it. Right into the arms of the goalkeeper. Nice save. Crucial that he do so. Over to Yathaghan FC yet again. They don't just have to play the waiting game. They can score even more goals. It was raining earlier, but right now it can be raining goals. Left, right, and center. Over Yathaghan FC with possession. Nice fancy footwork over there. Very casual, very stylish almost with that footwork. It's exactly what you love to see from them. Yathaghan FC, of course, they have a reputation for being very resilient. Even if the first half was disappointing for them, they came back with a fury and a fire in them with the second half. And it displayed itself very perfectly with that goal. As if one wasn't enough, they're going for a second here. Looking to get it, but there was just too much power on that ball. They had the opportunity, they had the layup, but there was a lot more power on that ball. Too much. Split-second decision. Couldn't be helped. Over to the goalkeeper. Previously in the first half, things were very different. Both teams seemed to be quite equal. Second half, things have changed. The winds have shifted firmly in Yathaghan FC's favor. They're very much the team and the favourites to win this match. advancing yet again. They have a layup for the ball. They have it. Can they score? They shoot. They score. It's another goal by Yathaghan FC. Beautifully tucked in right there. The anticipation was ready for them to deliver another goal, and they have done so with aplomb. Quick and sharp and deadly. That is Yathaghan FC's style. With 2 goals up against Monarch FC's none. Monarch FC is in a very tight situation right now. They're under a lot of pressure. Once again, the goal scorer for Yathaghan FC was Suhas. Suhas is on fire here tonight, especially in the second half. Second half, he has scored 2 goals in just under 10 minutes. Truly fantastic, fantastic football. Not just from Suhas, but from the entire team of Yathaghan FC to assist him in scoring those 2 wonderful goals. Definitely the man of the hour, delivering when they need him most. Over to the goalkeeper with a goal kick. Monarch FC, they have to pull off all the stops right here if they are to salvage something from this night. 1 goal would just be enough to bring some confidence back into the team. Boost the morale. You can hear the players yelling, shoot. Sorry, a bit of a correction there. The goal scorer for Yathaghan FC was not Suhas, it was actually Sanjay for Yathaghan FC. Suhas nonetheless was the one to establish that first goal, and Sanjay followed up with a beautiful second goal for Yathaghan FC. Both players definitely delivering when it comes to goals. Making their teams very, very proud. Yathaghan FC will definitely go to sleep happy tonight when it comes to their performance. As a Monarch FC, they have to reconsider now. It's no time to hesitate. They have to recalibrate and come back in full force. Can they do it? The odds are definitely not in their favor because Yathaghan FC are definitely the favorites to win this match here tonight. The first half was quite uneventful, but it was very much the build-up, the preview to what is this actual full show movie that we're witnessing here tonight. A movie that is displaying some fascinating football, some excellent plays by Yathaghan FC. You can see the precision, the speed, the raw power, the aggression from Yathaghan FC on display. Look at how they surge forward. They keep going for more goals, more attempts. Saved by the goalkeeper in the nick of time. Monarch FC. He's had to pull the ball out of the net twice already tonight. He's not going to let it happen a third time if he can help it. Yet again, they advance. Yathaghan FC not letting up. Full steam ahead, they say. It's exactly what Yathaghan FC needed from the start. They had to open up the game, and they did so with these 2 goals scored very early in the second half. It's late in the game, but it was never late for Yathaghan FC because they've rebounded from what was a slow first half into a very, very dominant second half. Proving exactly why they have that reputation for resilience and counter-offensives. See, a lot of the morale has sucked out of Monarch FC with those 2 goals. They're still trying to find their footing, struggling a little bit when it comes to Yathaghan FC's attacks. Because Yathaghan FC are quite relentless. It's not enough to just play defense. You have to find a way past these 2 goals. One would be enough to really lift their tides. Monarch FC making some plays, passing it back and forth, trying to find a way past the wall. It's quite a strong wall. There are walls like the Great Wall of China, and then there's the wall of Yathaghan FC that has been holding back Monarch FC from scoring any goals here tonight. Yet again, Yathaghan FC advancing with that possession of the ball. They have had a lot of beautiful possession here tonight. Passing back and forth. Look at the sync and the coordination here. They're on fire. Absolutely a team to look forward to, not just in this game, but for the rest of the season. Yathaghan FC have put themselves on the map quite firmly here. Of course, it's not just enough to win, you have to secure victory. While they're very much the favourites to win, things could still take a turn. Monarch FC is able to climb out of the pit that they're in right now. Important thing is to find some openings. Keep on advancing. Stop letting the thoughts of Yathaghan FC win in their minds. Pressure is on them, but they can still find a way out of this. Monarch FC. Look at the passes over here, the Yathaghan FC. Look at how they keep advancing, keep hammering forward. They go again for a third. Denied this time by the defense. Solid defending from Monarch FC, preventing Yathaghan FC from expanding that lead into 3 goals over their nil. Will be a corner for them. They have the possession. Can they push it through? Picked up by Yathaghan FC again. They have the pass. Looks to be too strong for that defense. Don't think they can penetrate that. Yathaghan FC are almost playing with Monarch FC over here. Playing is the right word for it, because they are very much playing for time. Yathaghan FC have a solid 2-point lead over Monarch FC. All they have to do is just play the waiting game. But they don't have to just do that, because you can see they keep on attacking. That is their strategy. Even when they have those 2 goals, they don't let up. Very smart strategy, because as long as Monarch FC is on the defensive, they can't afford to make any mistakes. Mistakes will be made aplenty if Monarch FC loses their cool. Good save by the goalkeeper. Yathaghan FC on the offensive. That has been the story of the second half. They keep on ramping up the tension. Saved by the goalkeeper. Good goalkeeping. Over to Monarch FC. Let's see if they can pull out something here. They're a team that's still building themselves up. Still trying to find their identity. Yathaghan FC, of course, came into this game with a lot of expectations and a lot of high hopes. And they certainly delivered with the second half. Even in the first half, you saw their calculated strategy was one of aggression. Attack, attack, attack. Keep on finding those openings. Keep on finding those gaps. Exhaust Monarch FC for the first half. That is definitely a factor that has to be considered for the second half. Yathaghan FC has made some changes, perhaps. Made some substitutions. A whistle blows. No doubt there were some discussions between the captains, between the players. Yathaghan FC came forward strongly in the second half with renewed momentum and renewed ambition. Will be a substitution. Throw in. Over to Monty FC. Monty FC on the pressure. Tension is building for them. Time ticks. Seconds pass. Minutes pass. And just like that, the game might be just over. What will they do then? No doubt bounce back and come back strongly with the next match. Yathaghan FC maintaining that lead. Haven't scored in over 10 minutes. They don't have to. They have 2 points. To Monarch FC is none. Monarch FC making some advancements here. Quietly and slowly trying to regain that lead they once had and enjoyed in the first half. Yathaghan FC is just not giving up. They're trying to go for that hat-trick. Trying to find it. Defense is able to pick it up. Fend off that attack. That'll be a throw-in. Two goals to Yathaghan FC. The first was scored by Suhas. The second was by Sanjay. Both goals left their mark on the team here tonight. And it was an almost goal right there. Third one could very well have been a third. Too much an awkward angle there. Not much space to maneuver. Had not been for that, and that might very well have been a third goal and very well have sealed Monarch FC's fate in this unfortunate game for them. Yathaghan FC with a dominant, excellent performance here tonight. This is a football everyone came here to watch, and Yathaghan FC have delivered in spades and then some. One goal was the tip of the iceberg. The second was the rest of the iceberg. Are there any more tricks that Yathaghan FC has to display here tonight? Perhaps they're going for a third, maybe even a fourth. It's never too late. Strong performance in this first early couple of games in the season will set a trend for the rest of the season. Rare opportunity for Monarch FC to come back. They have the advantage. They have the goal. Fended off by the defense. Beautifully done by Yathaghan FC. That was a near disaster for them. In a sense of one goal on the table, of course. It is quite late in the match. Still, one goal conceded is not exactly what Yathaghan FC wants to do. They want to maintain a clean sweep over here. Even one goal could reflect something of the team in games to come. They don't want to have that on their reputation. They want to maintain their peak performance here tonight, Yathaghan FC. As Monarch FC, they came very close. A nice tackle on the goalkeeper, but the defense of Yathaghan FC was able to fend it off with some finesse. There's a reason they're very calm under pressure. They have that advantage. Monarch FC is going to be a bit more desperate here. They're going to try and go for the goals. As time passes, the coil begins to tighten. Pressure starts to build for Monarch FC. Can they pull off a surprise over here? There won't be that much extra time, of course. There hasn't been much lull in this game. Not in the first half, and certainly not in the second half. Second half has been very high paced, very frenetic. You've seen a lot of plays early in the second half. Two very crucial ones. The field was wide open there for a second. Picked up by the goalkeeper. Nicely saved. Not in any real danger, of course. But it's never to be too safe, of course. Better to be safe than sorry. Up in the air. Whistle blows. Should be another substitution. If you go with Yathaghan FC's strategy, in the first half, they were coming in quite strong. They were making a lot of attacks, probing attacks with Monarch FC. Clearly, that was building up to the second half. Second half, they were able to find their way across the defenses, scoring one goal and then a second goal, completely breaking apart Monarch FC's defenses. Monarch FC, of course, have been able to defend quite well regardless, because there could have been many more goals scored by Yathaghan FC over here. It's a respectable 2-0, 55 minutes in. Yathaghan FC at 2, Monarch FC still with no goals. There's something we said about the persistence of Yathaghan FC as well as Monarch FC when it comes down to playing the last few minutes of this precarious game that has turned right on its head with those two goals scored very early. There is a goal, but not the one they were looking for. It goes into a post that is not the one they were looking for. Yathaghan FC with a corner here. Corner could translate into an opportunity for his third goal. Third goal would be exactly what they're looking for, of course. Not just to establish their tone for the rest of the season, but of course to make sure that Monarch FC doesn't have any chances to win this game. It would be the nail in the coffin, metaphorically speaking. As a Monarch FC, they have many chances to come back in future games in the rest of the season. May have been a disappointing start to the beginning of the season for them, but they can absolutely come back in full force with some more preparation, learning and growing from this game. Yathaghan FC with another attempt, goes wide above the goalpost. But even if it had landed there, I think the goalkeeper would have saved that one. Two of the goals that Yathaghan FC scored were goals that were in some tight pressure. One of them was a nice corner kick. The second one was a defensive throw into the defensive area. They managed to find a small gap, a small opening, and they found it tucked in by Sanjay. Into the corner, that goal. And of course, Monarch FC is just rounding out the corner of this game. Everything turned in a flash when it came to the second half. Yathaghan FC, with a short, brief probing attempts in the first half, came back with full force. And it's really taken Monarch FC by surprise. They've not been able to really make any attempts this time around. One major attempt, that's about it. Very close, but it wasn't enough. I do believe even if it had been a goal for Monarch FC, they would have to score another one. And that would have been quite difficult. Yathaghan FC has a very strong defensive core here. They mimicked Monarch FC's formation at the very beginning of the game. Both teams had the same formation. A lot of these goals were scored by skill plus opportunity plus speed and momentum. A lot of factors that came to play when it comes to Yathaghan FC. Is all but a short victory here. Perhaps it can be something that can be made out of this for Monarch FC. Some salvaging grace, the gift of a goal, or Yathaghan FC may even score a third goal here. That is what they want and what they desire. They're advancing forward. Will it be a third goal? Saved by the goalkeeper just in the nick of time. Could have been a very, very close call. A brush with a third goal. Yathaghan FC. A minor disappointment, but not a setback because Yathaghan FC are definitely on track to win. Another attempted goal. You see the aggression here at the very last seconds of this game. You really love to see it. This is exactly why people love football so much. It is a game of absolute peak performance, physical performance, speed, momentum, agency, strategy. There's a lot of components at play. It's a game of dancing and prancing and absolutely coming out on top with your momentum. And with that, the whistle blows. Very little extra time, just a few seconds at that. Yathaghan FC have come out on top with a rollicking 2 goals to Monarch FC's none. The full-time score stands at Yathaghan FC 2, Monarch FC none. Yathaghan FC, the takeaways here are definitely to continue with this absolute level of performance. Monarch FC, they can learn some things. As you go over the stats, you can see that Yathaghan FC had so many shots off target, 5 shots off target, and 5 shots on target from Yathaghan FC. Monarch FC, not as many. They can definitely improve on their statistics over here. Monarch FC with so many saves and 2 cards, of course, awarded to them. They were getting quite tense and quite, panicked and wrapped up against the wall over there with Monarch FC. Don't forget to like, share, comment, and subscribe, and stay tuned for future games like this. We're going to have some amazing games, not just replicating games like this to see your favorites, Yathaghan FC and Monarch FC, in the future. But stay tuned for future matches to come. There are going to be many more games right after this one. So do stay tuned in the weeks to come. The season is just getting started, so what are you waiting for? Don't forget to like, comment, share, and subscribe, and we'll have a few thanks to our sponsors. Kaveri Hospital. Metal. Limits don't exist. www.prakrita.in. Vortex Media Management. Wisecraft. Capella Builders. Itsuki. And last but not least, Player Nation. Thank you very much to all of our sponsors. Do stay tuned for future games to come, and with that, I'll be leaving you. Good night, and stay tuned.